Hey guys, this is Nathan and welcome back to TechNodeFirmaCraft. So I am picking up exactly where I left off in the last episode. So I have the raw iron bloom in the forge right now reheating, and it is only up to very hot. But as you can see, I am using the coal for this because we are really low on charcoal, and this does not have enough iron in it to make an iron anvil. So I am going to have to be getting some charcoal taken care of. So in all actuality, I think what I should do, I have a couple of pieces of bronze left here. I'm going to take this bismuth bronze. Where did... It said that I picked it up and then it didn't pick it up. I'm going to drop this in here as well. And I am going to try to make myself a bismuth bronze axe, so that we can hopefully get some wood faster. And what I'm probably going to do is head down to the acacia area down here and just start chopping out the trees here. And once I get them chopped out and I've got a full inventory, I'll just dig a pit in the ground and go ahead and burn the charcoal out there, because I can't carry much wood, but I can carry an awful lot of charcoal. So that's probably what I'm going to do here in just a little bit. But first, I've got to get this stuff heated up and worked. Now, this raw iron bloom, I have never tried smelting that in the crucible, but I'm pretty sure that we have to have bellows to be able to get the crucible hot enough to melt iron. So that's probably not going to work. But I do have the ceramic molds in here, so I don't have to worry about the bronze melting away. And so I'm probably just going to leave that there as I get this iron bloom worked up. So as you can see, now we are at the can work stage of the iron bloom. So I'm going to give it just another tick or two of heat, and that should be good. So we're going to go into our bronze anvil here, and we're going to refine this. So we need this to be hammers after we're done. So... okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Ow. Okay, well, we'll be the 3 hammers when we get it back in there. So we might be able to work this bismuth bronze before I thought we could. But yeah, I'm having to use the coal, and this is all the coal that I have too. So I don't have a lot of fuel for this forge right now. So, looks like, well, we do have the bismuth bronze ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and take that, drop this in here, and we are going to make ourselves an axe head. So, wow, we've got a... That cooled off way too fast. So, let's go ahead and grab this. We'll try this again. So... Oh, whoops. That could have been part of the problem. I didn't even notice that. So, 1, 2, 3. No, dang it. Okay, so it's a bend punch. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay, so now we are refined. What can we do with this? We need to split it. So we need to finish this with a punch. That's all we need. So, and it's too cool. This is one of the biggest problems with working with iron. It cools down way too fast. So let's do the axe here. So what we need is to get this right up here. Okay, so we need upset, hammer, punch. Okay, so now to get that back to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, upset, hammer, punch. There we go. Axe head. So that has the same smithing bonus as we get for the pickaxes, so that works together really nice. So now let's try this again. Split. So we just need a punch. There we go. So we've got a whole bunch of these. So each one of these can now be refined into an ingot. So there we go. I'll try to get as many of these done as I can. Whoops. Need to get this. And then I will be welding these together as well. And it looks like I was able to get one. So, yeah, it's going to take me a long time to get all of this done and welded. And I'm going to keep my worked ingots in here because, like I said, I'm pretty sure they won't melt under normal forge circumstances. But I will get all of these refined and welded, and then I'm gonna head down and get some more charcoal. So I will see you guys in a little bit. Well, I have built myself a little temporary fort out of acacia logs here because, yeah, those guys. So as you can tell, I have a charcoal pit burning below me. This charcoal pit is 4x4 and then 3 deep on the log piles, which equates to 768 logs. Now I have no idea what that's actually going to give me for charcoal. That'll be kind of interesting to find out. But as you can tell, my bismuth bronze axe is just about dead, as was I a little bit ago. But I also used, I think, about 8 or 9 stone axes to finish out the pile, and then I still have a lot of logs left in my inventory that I'm going to be taking back to the base for actual lumber usage. So the plan now is to use this copper shovel and dig out everything that is here, and well, hopefully it survives for the entire thing. And then I'll bring you guys back in at the base and we can see how much charcoal I actually got here. So I narrowly escaped a bunch of spiders over on the trip back here. And yeah, I counted up the amount of charcoal that I got. I got 334 charcoal from that 768 logs. Which means that I didn't get half. It was a bit more than a third, but not quite a half of the logs turned into charcoal. Now later on we should be able to make a furnace. We can make this steel furnace later on when we have steel. And this thing is capable of turning the logs straight into half charcoal, I believe. Let's take a look at charcoal. This, yeah, this stuff. It will turn a log straight into this, which means it's a guaranteed half of the logs is turned into charcoal, which is a little bit better. But now I have enough charcoal to smelt my iron. Now I only need one more wrought iron double ingot, but I'm going to go ahead and make an entire 12 more iron ingots because, well, I want to be able to make some iron tools once I get that anvil. Now, one thing about it, I did figure out exactly what to do to make an iron ingot out of the split bloom on this bronze anvil, and that is 6 shrinks, 1 upset, 1 punch, and then 3 light hits. So that is the absolute shortest number of hits that you can get to turn that bloom into an ingot. Now generally I can do that fast enough to be able to get the bloom, if it is yellow white, the absolute hottest it can be from the forge without a bellows, I can get it back into the forge while it is still yellow white. So yeah, it's pretty fast. But now I need to do the same thing that I did before. It's laying in the 8 charcoal down here. Then we drop in our iron ore and then our charcoal. And come on, there we go. So used 32 charcoal there total. Where did I put my fire starter? There it is. So we'll hit the bloomery block, light that sucker up, and now once again I get to play the waiting game on the bloomery and then do all the forging and everything like that. But when I come back, we should be able to make this wrought iron anvil finally. Well, Mr. Deer, I think you are the thing that drops the medium hide, so you're gonna have to die. Woohoo! Alright, so I managed to get a large one, a small one, and a medium one. Okay. Alright, so we have our 7 wrought iron double ingots. Now, I just want to make sure. Iron Age. No, we don't have anything for an iron anvil. So we're just going to go ahead and craft this up. Same as any other anvil craft. We're going to have to melt these guys down here in a little bit. So we are going to want to grab this copper ingot, move it over here, and then we are going to drop this wrought iron anvil here. Nice, we finally have that. So we're going to pull the hammer and flux out of there, because now we have a quest that we can continue on with, and that is the grill right now. So we need to make a grill. This is advanced cooking. The grill allows you to cook more than one food item at once. Normally, each item must be less than 80 ounces, but in TNFC, you can cook a full 160 ounces. That has changed from the last time that I played. I used to have to break them into 80s. To set up the grill, place directly on a forge. Alternately, place a 2-block high pillar on the left and right of a fire pit, then place the grill directly on the pit. So to make the grill, we need 2 wrought iron double ingots. So I have these guys nice and hot, and so we go here, we place 1 in each slot, and the plans come up for the grill. So we need to finish this with draw, bend. So this is going to be kind of an interesting one. So let's pull it up here. So draw, bend. So shrink, bend. Yeah. Ooh. Shrink, bend, draw, bend. There we go. So there's our grill. So let's go ahead and check here. So that's all that we needed. So this is going to give us a flint and steel, 8 more bottles of enchanting, and 16 rock salt. Why do I have to pick one when it's just rock salt? Whatever. Okay, so now that we have done that one, there's a few others that we could do here. I am working on getting these last couple of... Well, those are hot now. So next we are going to do the shears. So more than just wool. Now that you know how to make wrought iron, you can make a pair of shears. Although you can shear a sheep with a knife, shears will give more wool. I haven't found any sheep yet. They are also a very useful tool for breaking leaves. Start by making 2 wrought iron knife heads. So let's go ahead and take these. Wrong anvil. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we need a knife blade. Oh, this is not going to be a fun one. So, draw, hammer. Shrink, upset, punch. Shrink, upset. Uh-oh. I don't even have anything to do that with. Okay, well, we had the upset, so I need... Wait. I have them in here. Ha. There we go, stone hammers. We need to get ourselves a better hammer. Alright. So we had the shrink, upset, punch. Then we need draw, hammer. Okay. There's one down. We'll put this back in here because we're still going to have to do more with that. I know that from experience. So now this one, we are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, and then we'll do the knife. Okay. Okay, so now I don't remember what that was. Shrink, upset, punch, punch, draw, draw, hammer. There we go. Alright, so now both of those have to be to the point of can weld. So I have to have both of those in my inventory at once. Okay, so now work the knives together. So I'm going to put these back in here so that they can get nice and hot. And we'll read this one. So now that you have two knife heads, place both of them in your anvil's work area. You should be able to select the shears blueprint. So both of these are hot enough now. So we'll drop them in here. And shears. We need to finish this out with 3 hammers. Not a tough one at all. So punch, bend, 1, 2, 3. There we go. And we have a pair of shears. Alright, so now we are going to take our coal out of there because we no longer need to be wasting it. And also I am going to drop these hammers off for future use. So now next up, you may have seen what I am planning for the next thing. Oh, we need to take this. So we'll get some magnetite and we can choose either magnetite or charcoal. I don't think charcoal is going to be a big deal anymore, but I am using a lot of iron. So we're going to go ahead and take the magnetite, claim that. We got a lot more stuff. So there's the bottles of enchanting. 56 bottles of enchanting already. That is quite a bit. So we do have quite a bit of stuff going on. But now we need to go back here because for the bloomery, for the blast furnace, we need to make bellows. Now to make bellows, we need leather. So we need to go back to the casting age and we have the tanning one. So first off, I was able to get the medium rawhide by finding a deer. And so the first step of this is complete. Now we have soaking hides. So we need a bucket of lime water and a large soaked hide. So place your large hide in a barrel or large vessel of lime water and seal it. It will turn into a soaked hide in a few hours. Now I also need to grab my bucket because we need to grab a bucket of lime water to go along with this. So I actually put 5 large hides in here, so this will take care of the next one. So now scrape the hide. Now that your hide is soaked, you will need to place it on top of a horizontal log by right-clicking. You then need to scrape the top of it with a knife by right-clicking. Once the hide is fully scraped, you can remove it from the leather rack with a right-click. You now have a scraped hide. It is possible to hold right-click and drag your cursor over the hide to scrape quickly, but it is tricky. Alright, so we need to grab a log. We'll place this down and it has to be horizontal. Let's try this again. It has to be horizontal. Then we're going to take our large hide, place it on here, and we have a knife. And so there's 16 spots here. And we just need to clean them all, and there we go. So there's one down. I'm going to clean all of these. So this is why the shears are so great for breaking leaves. They instantly break leaves, and they don't take any durability damage. So I can now get all of the sticks and saplings that I could possibly need very rapidly. Now you do have to be careful how you break leaves because they do disappear if you hit them in the wrong order. So yeah, that is something to worry about. But so our next step in this hide one is to place the scraped hide in a barrel or large vessel of fresh water for a few hours. Place it in the barrel and seal. When it is done, you will get a prepared hide. It is best to prepare a barrel or large vessel of tannin while you wait for your hide. Place a log of oak, birch, chestnut, Douglas fir, hickory, maple, or sequoia in a barrel or large vessel of fresh water and seal it. So I already have the tannin, and we just need to grab the large prepared hide. So there we go. There is that. So that will complete that section. Now tannin your hide. Be tannin your hide, yeah. The last step is to place the prepared hide in tannin for a few hours. When your tannin is done, place the prepared hide in and seal. When it is done, you will get leather. To craft leather using a GUI similar to napping. You craft leather using a GUI similar to napping. Right-click with a piece of leather in hand and a knife in your hotbar to open the crafting GUI. So, let's see if this is done. No, it's not. So that is kind of unfortunate that that's not ready for us. I'm going to drop those off. And yeah, we are getting really close to being able to make the bellows. So let's look at what we need for the bellows. So for this, we need 3 pieces of leather and 6 planks. So I think we have 3 planks. Well, let's go ahead and grab an acacia log. We'll cut this up. I need to grab my saw. Oh, come here. So we will get this. So there's 8. Let's just get rid of this oak. So we'll have 5 planks there. Man, it's still not ready. Well, a little bit of a pause. Well, finally, leather. So we'll grab that. We'll go ahead and put in the other 2 hides and get those. But we finally have our leather. So let's go ahead and get in here. And we are done with this quest. That will give us 6 more leather and 8 more bottles of enchanting. With that, we now have a whole stack of bottles of enchanting. That is really nice. Now, I just realized I have straw in my inventory, and I can put it in here. Okay, there we go. That will clean things up just a little. Now we have 15 leather, and we're going to drop this off in here. Yeah, I've got so much food now, I have to have it on the ground. This is ridiculous already. We're going to have to start figuring out something for food. Because, yeah, that's getting a little out of hand. But so now we can move on to this one here, the bellows. So the bellows can be placed next to a fire pit, forge, or blast furnace. I did not know you could put it next to a fire pit. Oh, neat. Face the direction you want the air to blow. It must be placed on top of a solid block. Right-clicking will increase the heat temporarily at the cost of fuel. This does not increase the rate items heat in the forge or process in the blast furnace. So we need to make a bellows. So we've already seen what the recipe is for this, and yeah, it does not matter what kind of planks you use for that. But so now we have that. That's going to give us another bellows. So we'll go ahead and claim that. That will open the blast furnace one now. So this is where we learn to smelt iron at higher temperatures to make pig iron. The blast furnace is a multi-block structure used to turn iron ore into pig iron, and we need to make a blast furnace brick for this. Now there is a lot of steps that we need to do before we can use the blast furnace. So instead, I am going to set this up here, and the way that this works, you just right click on it, it blows air past the forge, and it will superheat it, and we can now make the forge hot enough to melt iron. So no more will I have to sit here and hammer stuff on the anvil, on the blooms, to turn them into ingots, we can put those blooms into the crucible and we should be able to melt them down. But now the other thing is, we can now melt these anvils down in the crucible to reclaim the ingots that are contained in them as well. So that is kind of nice. I'll probably be doing that here really soon. There's a couple other quests that we could look at, but I'm not sure that I want to. We've got the hopper quest. These non-tool making alloys, we're not going to be able to do that for a while because some of those require things like silver and gold and stuff like that, and we don't have any of that yet. Now, I have found a lot of gold in the world, but I haven't mined any. But also, we have not found any silver. Now, another thing, I noticed this. You can see I have bricks around the entrance to my mine over here where I was getting the graphite. Zombies apparently can break the support pillars or whatever those things are called. Where do I have those? The support beams. And they got in there, broke a bunch of my jack-o'-lanterns and a whole bunch of the support pillars or support beams, and so I've got to go in there and fix that. That is kind of unfortunate. But I think at this point I'm going to see how we're doing on time for the episode, and I will be back in just a little bit. So we have just a couple of minutes left, so I have placed the copper anvil in here. Now this should get hot enough to melt that very shortly. So gonna let this kind of get up here. I'm kind of curious to see. There we go. So we get 14 ingots of copper back out of this. As soon as this gets hot enough for liquid, there we go. It is going to fill the molds again. And I am going to just take the rest of that coal back out of there. This should be hot enough to deal with that. So, yeah, this is how I am also going to be reclaiming the bronze from the other one. I happen to have that bronze anvil on my back already. So we'll be able to reclaim all of these ingots that we had tied up in these anvils, which is really nice because, yeah, I don't want to really waste all of that. But I'm going to work on that between episodes because I am going to say this is good enough. So I'm going to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to give a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any thoughts about what I've been working on or something that you'd like to see me work on, be sure to leave that down in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye.